Malaysia is to exit its COVID-19 lockdown in phases. It's aiming for a return to normal by the end of the year. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin says that current nationwide restrictions have helped avert a catastrophe. He's addressed the nation a day after new infections dipped to a near one-month low.
Kerajaan akan menimbang peralihan daripada fasa pertama kepada fasa kedua PKP bila masanya, iaitu setelah satu purata kes harian COVID-19 menurun di bawah 4,000 kes.
An additional 6 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been secured. They'll arrive by the end of next month. At the same time, Malaysia has given emergency use approval to 2 single-dose vaccines, China's CanSino and the Johnson & Johnson shot from the United States. About 10% of the population has received at least 1 dose. Melissa Go joins us live now for more on this. Melissa, what will the government be looking out for as it eases these curbs in phases?
It's a detailed roadmap involving 4 phases, laying out the various threshold and criteria that the government hopes to achieve before deciding whether to ease restrictions and transition from one phase to another. And they include the average daily cases, the capacity of the ICU beds, and the rate of vaccination in the country. Now, it is a plan. Whether it's workable or achievable or not, it's just too early to tell. Now, under the plan, if daily cases were to drop below 2,000 and 40% of the population vaccinated and ICU beds are sufficient, the Parliament can resume, the Prime Minister said, and presumably the country's election too can be held by year-end if cases drop below 500 a day and 60% of the country's population have been vaccinated. But of course, all these sounds very good on paper. There are many variables on the ground, such as the availability of the vaccines. Now, the Prime Minister expects 16 million doses to arrive by July, and that is crucial to achieving herd immunity. Now, also, although daily cases are now off its high, the new variants are said to be a lot more infectious and harder to treat is still wreaking havoc, inundating the healthcare system. And patients are getting younger, and some are not responding to steroid treatment. Now, more than 4,000 have died. Hundreds were brought in dead. But Prime Minister Muhyiddin believes that Malaysia has seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and he hopes that everyone will come on board, and reiterated that he's committed to parliamentary democracy and a promise to reopen Parliament as soon as 40% of the population vaccinated and cases drop below 2,000. But no one, who said no political party should create any more distractions or disrupt his government from achieving these targets. Let's hear him out.
Jangan ada pihak-pihak yang sengaja menimbulkan keresahan dan kecelaruan dalam kalangan rakyat sehingga mengganggu tugas utama kerajaan untuk menangani pandemik COVID-19.
So we have this detailed exit strategy now from the Prime Minister, but will he still need to extend the current state of emergency that's prevented Parliament from sitting?
To ensure political stability that he said he needed to execute the plan, he will need to seek extension of the emergency proclamation when it expires on August 1st. In order to suspend Parliament, the King will have to sign a new one, the new emergency proclamation and the emergency ordinance to suspend Parliament. And under the Constitution, the constitutional monarchy system, the King's role is largely ceremonial. He reigns, but he doesn't rule. He will have to listen to the advice of the Prime Minister and act accordingly. Now, let's hear it from the law professor, Dr. Shahid Faruqi himself.
That as long as there is a sitting Prime Minister and a cabinet, the King doesn't act on his own. He acts on advice. He can delay, he can caution, he can warn, he can be the elder statesman, but he must follow advice.
Still, hopes are high among opposition leaders I spoke with. The King will say no to further extension of the emergency, which they say did nothing at all to curb the pandemic, but to preserve Mr. Muhyiddin's political powers. Well, the King will meet the Malay rulers at the National Palace tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. and a statement is expected at the end of the meeting.
All right, thanks very much for that update, Melissa Go there in the Malaysian capital, Kuala Lumpur.